Bonjour and Anina. Welcome back to Gigi's Vintage Therapy. Today is August 1st, 2025, on a Friday, and it's about 4 o'clock. And the last video I did was video 13, and it was all about lava lamps. I had acquired 63 lava lamps from my friend Susie. I helped her do her estate sale. She had passed away, and so I was honored to help do her estate sale, and that was the amount of lava lamps that were left over. And out of 63, I only have 2 left, and they aren't lava lamps. One is a glitter lamp, and the other one's a water bubbler. So that was video 13. So today is video 14. And what I'm going to be showing today is about 16 pieces, unique pieces that I recently acquired. And, I acquired these from a few estate sales that I had attended, and some vintage shows that were put on in the area in which I live. So what we'll do is we'll do the tour, and then of course I'll talk about each piece individually, and then I'll give the value for each piece. And this should go fairly quickly. I'm thinking it shouldn't, hopefully not take more than 15 to 30 minutes at the most. Okay, so we'll do the tour. So first up, we have a Edwardian white tulle. This is silk tulle dress, and it has a lot of thread work, and it's 2 tiers. Now I haven't washed this. I haven't done anything to it. This is the front. It has the sleeves with the little flower buds on both sleeves, lined in lace. And then this is the little pigeon type bust. And then I'll turn it around so you can see the back. And the back has the almost like a cape-like collar with the little crocheted buds at the corner of the collar on both sides. And the thing about this dress is now these Edwardian dresses, they all kind of snap around at the waist, and then it goes down and snaps hook and eye. But whoever had this dress changed it, and they put Velcro on here. Now this is not supposed to be like this, but I suppose it made it easier for whoever to wear this. I I'm sure it wasn't like that when it was first made back in the day, but somebody probably wore this in the more current era, like what we're in today, and they put the Velcro on there. I would, if I were going to keep this dress, I would remove that Velcro and I would put it back to its original state, because you can see that it did have a waistband. That Velcro was put over the band. You can see that there. See? And the Velcro, if it catches this silk tulle, it's going to tear it. And that is why if I was going to keep the dress, I would certainly put that back to its original design. And this dress is $125. We have a little silk 1930s peach silk rayon little tap pants. They call these tap dancer pants because they're flared. They've got little applique work there, and then it has a matching bra. Very cute. And this little set is $80. Next we have a 1930s silk crepe dress, very flowy. It is lined, has a peach lining. Now I have done nothing to this dress at all. Once it's cleaned, it should be very, very better than it looks now. It's crepe, so it's a little crinkly. The fabric is naturally crinkly, but you can see how the design is in this dress with and the way it comes in the back, it dips in the back. Then it has a very, like a cape-like collar, which goes right into sleeves, like a cape around the neck. And it is a teal blue. I don't know if that's showing up, but it's teal blue floral, like a kind of a dark peach floral and black and a little bit of yellow. And it's 1930s, and let's see, it's $150. And next we have, this could almost be this is a 1920s dress, and it is this is also silk and lace, and of course it has pin tucking and a rolled dropped waist, and it has the snaps it snaps down the side, and it has the lace panels and the flowers in each diamond pattern. And there is no holes in this dress. It should be dry cleaned. And it's beautiful. And along with this dress, I found these little kid leather shoes. Now these shoes could be older than the 1920s, but they would match wonderfully with this dress if this were to be a wedding dress. I left the bow. One of the bows was left on these shoes, and I left the bow there. You can take that bow off, but just to show you what the shoes originally look like, had both bows. But yeah, this is really soft white beige kid leather, and this is the bottoms, and this is that heel that they wore back in the Edwardian, and maybe even earlier than that. And these shoes are going for $20. They would be a good match with this dress. This little 1920s dress is $125. Now here we have a little peach, looks like peach rayon on the outside, and the inside it's like a satin sheen. And it's got the bow where you just tie it. It doesn't have any closures other than the bow. And this just sits over the shoulders. And this could be Victorian. It's hard to say. Victorian, Edwardian. Could be even for the 30s as well. And this little capelet is, gosh, do I have it on here? This little capelet is $30. Next we have antique. I believe this is a slip. It would go under a Victorian skirt. Now I haven't done anything to this either. This is going to need a cleaning. And it has a stain in the front where that lace is. I was reluctant to now this silk beige underskirt, I'm going to call it. It's worn under the long skirts of the Victorian age. Beautiful lace and ribbon work. It does have some staining, but I'm pretty sure that will come out with OxyClean. I haven't had time to do anything to this. Now, in like I said, with these ribbons, these little floral silk ribbons, they tend to bleed if you get them wet. But what this is, it looks like these were all pinned. They all have pins. All the buds are pinned on there. So I'm going to attempt to wash this, and I'm going to take all those little buds off before I wash it. I don't know if I'm going to immerse the whole thing in water, because there are some mending, some mends on this. See, this is, somebody mended this here and there. It looks like it's separating. But this is beautiful lace. But as is, I would sell this for the slip for $20. If I have to do any more to it, then the price may go up if it will stand a washing. But what struck me was the lace work. And no, I already said what the price was. Okay. So next we have a little white Edwardian dress. Now I believe I did some mending. I think I put a patch on here. There was a separation somewhere. And I did wash this. And it washed up very nicely. And this is small, and it's got white work on the front, embroidered. Very delicate little ruffles. And this dress is, let's see, this little dress is $60. And next we have some, these are Scottish gray plaid tweed trousers. Well, they call them trousers, they call them breeches, or knickerbockers. And they're the Scottish Highlanders, they used them for hunting, for any sports, or for riding horses. So they come to the knee. Beautiful plaid. These are wool. Metal zipper. And they seem to be a bigger size. They're not really tiny. And they have pockets. And I got these at an estate sale. The family that lived at that brick mansion were Scottish. They were Highlanders because they had genuine kilts from Scotland, and the beautiful waistcoats and the plaids, and their wools are just fabulous. Can I say how much these were? And these are $80. And next we have also another Highlander piece, Scottish blue Pima cotton floral with white lace, green piping, embroidered apron. And the apron ties in the back, so it's removable. And yep, lace sleeves, kind of puffy lace sleeves. And this is a little bigger size as well. I mean, I can give measurements if you call or text me and ask for measurements. But this waist is a pretty good size. I'd say at least probably a 32, 34 maybe. And this is made very well. It's lined. Look at that lining. And it looks like it has a nylon zipper. And it's a thick cotton. This almost feels like it's the heavier cotton. It's like a oh, and it has the little pleat work before the ruffle. Very well made. Very cottagecore or hobbitcore. This dress, this Highlander dress, is $125. Now next we have, this is a 1930s, this looks like crochet. Very tightly knit. And it has the like flutter, almost like a flutter sleeve. And it's probably comes about mid calf. And there's no openings on the sides. You would have to, except there's snaps at the neck. So it would have to be a small woman that would get into this. 1930s, and this dress is a crocheted dress. I think this is handmade too, but it is $100. Now next we have a beautiful pair of beach pajama pants, and it has a matching shirt. Well, before I show the shirt, I'll show you the details of the pants. So pants does not have pockets, but it's pleated at the top. See those pleats? Wide band, buttons to the side, no zipper. So it just has openings. You can put it there, or if you want it, if you have a smaller waist, and put it over here. And very wide pants, legs. Very well made. See that double seam? High waist. Yeah, very low crotch. But that's for the comfort. And it does have a matching shirt. Here's the shirt. And it has the white piping around the collar and around the front, on the pocket. This is the front of the shirt, and this is the back of the shirt. Double seams, double stitch seams. And it's sparkling made. That's the vintage tag. And this set is $125. Condition, no holes, no tears. I don't believe there's any stains. Now next we have a 1930s beautiful nightgown. This is actually new old stock because it still has its label, or its tag. Luxite, whatever that. Luxite. By Hole Proof. And it does have 1930s. It does have the triangular. It's cut on the bias. This triangular piece at the bottom of the hem signifies that it is cut on the bias. This is what they did in the 30s. So it fits the body. It hugs the body, and then of course the skirt trumpets out, and then it has the little ribbons that tie in the back. And we've got a lot of lace work going on here for the straps, or the shoulders that go over the shoulders, and then goes in the back. And this is a bigger size as well. Usually we find antique clothes or vintage clothes that are so small, but these some of these clothes are not that small. And then of course there's the pin tucking under the bust. very adds to the beautiful design of the nightgown. And of course it has the lace on the bottom. And this nightgown is $130. So next we have a Victorian outfit. Well, I put it together. First we'll talk about the bodice jacket. I'm going to take it off here. I think it goes well with this skirt, but let me get a hanger. Now it looks like this bodice was very, well, again, very well made. And it does have some thread design on the cuffs, if you can see that. And the cuffs, or the sleeves themselves, they kind of pucker up at the shoulders, and then they kind of curve into the cuff below, and they're kind of blousy at the wrist. And I forget what you call this, but it's a lot of seam work, it looks like. And then the inside is lined, that almost looks like polished cotton, brown. And then turn it around, and this is the shape. Very detailed bottom to this little jacket. It kind of ruffles out. And it closes with hook and eye closures. And this is in great condition. Whoever had this didn't wear it too very much. In the jacket, let's see. Oh, and when it's on, this should come out like a pigeon bust. That was the style in the Victorian era. And this jacket is $125. And then we have the blouse. Now these are some gigantic sleeves. I think they call these gigot or gigot. Gigot, G-I-G-G-O-T. I'm not sure how to pronounce that, but look at those sleeves. A lot of fabric in the sleeves alone. And then of course they come to, I suppose, right above the wrists. And of course it's high collar. And I've tucked it into the skirt. I'll turn it around so you can see the back. And this is all hook and eye. And then the skirt, here's a side view of the skirt. Now I don't know if they wore a bustle. I think this is called a trumpet skirt. It kind of is narrow through the hips. Look at all that goring. I think I counted 12 gores or panels. You can see it's stitched up. So they wore it tight around the hips, and then it flares out. And then of course there's the satin pleat work for decoration. And I believe this is like a heavy linen. And this is in very good condition considering the age. There's no holes. Beautiful skirt. And of course it couldn't fit, it was too big for the mannequin now. This skirt has a very big waist. I mean, it's not a tiny waist by any means. See? And then of course it closes with hook and eye. So this is the top and this is the bottom. And look at all those, each of these gores go all the way down to the hem. And I believe I counted a dozen. So in order to keep it on this mannequin, I had to clip it with some office paper clips. Binders, paper binders. But this is a beautiful skirt and blouse. Okay. So the linen Victorian trumpet skirt is $125, and the cotton blouse with the giggle or gigot sleeves is well, this Victorian blouse is mauve and burgundy, gigot sleeves, and it's $80 for the blouse. Now next we have this is either late 1920s, early 1930s, or it's Edwardian. It's hard to say with this dress. It has trumpet sleeves, flared sleeves, and that lace is beautiful as well. A lot of work went into this dress. And I paired it with this 1980s wooden necklace. I'm going to take that off. But this is the way it looks, the front. And I believe this is the front because I discovered it had darts. And here's the darts. I believe these are bus darts. And I looked it up, and they did do bus darts in the late 1920s or early 1930s. And I'm not really sure, but I think this is the way this is worn, this belt. It has the handmade flowers. I had to put a clippy there because there's no snaps or anything to keep this together unless it ties, and it doesn't look right when it's tied. So this is almost like a straight columnar dress, and then when it gets down here, it again flares out like a trumpet skirt. And then it has the satin embellishments, the ribbon on the bottom, and the satin itself is very thick. So I don't know if this is this I think is an evening dress because of the flowers. If it were a morning dress, I don't think it would have any. It would be all black. I don't think it would have flowers on it. And this is again part of the belt. And it dips in the back here. And this looks like hand sewing up here around the neckline. But whoever made this dress did a very, very good job. And it does have French seams. I think all of it has French seams. In other words, there's no raw edges on this dress whatsoever. I think back in the day, a lot of the designers used French seams where there's no raw edges, and they turn them over and you have a finished seam. Anyway, this is beautiful, and that dress is $150. So that concludes video 14. My next video, which hopefully will be within a few more weeks, is going to showcase 6 or 7 plissé dresses. Now, nylon plissé, that's material, the kinds of dresses you would wear for the summer or the warmer months. And I know I was going to show these before I showed these more antique clothes, but I'll be showing those next. The late 1940s, early 1950s. I acquired 6 or 7 of those dresses. Somebody had, I believe they belonged to one woman who made the same dress but in different prints and different transparent fabrics, like nylon plissé, flocked nylon. And what I did was I matched them up with my Bakelite belt buckles, which I have a lot of, and I matched the colors to the ribbons for that tie around the waist of these dresses, and they look great. And I've already got pictures of that bunch of dresses, but it's in my they're saved in my studio, so that'll be coming up next. And I've also paired those dresses with slips, the 1950s slips that match each dress. The colors match the color of the dress. And I paired it with hats of the same era, gloves, and also I'll be showing lucite purses, carved lucite purses that will be paired with these plissé, nylon, and flocked late 1940s, early 1950s dresses. So you'll be seeing the whole ensemble: the dress, the belts, the shoes, the gloves, the hats, and of course jewelry. There'll be a jewelry, a necklace, a pin, or whatever for each ensemble. And that'll be coming up in a few weeks. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed what you saw. And I'll see you next time at Gigi's Vintage Therapy. Miigwech.